What's going on, ladies and dudes? I wanted to do this for a long time now. I have so many different stories from so many different things that I just wanted to tell. I guess I could just tell this one when I went to see Metallica, right? So let me start from the start. Metallica comes to town. I have my ticket. I bought it when it was announced. I got the ticket in my hand. I show up to the big venue, and I'm waiting in line. So while I'm waiting in line, some protesters show up. I'm like, huh? I look over there. I'm on the left, and I'm like, what are these people doing? And it's just religious people holding up signs that say you're gonna go to hell, and I'm just like dumbfounded. Huh? Out of all the bands in the entire planet to protest, you're protesting Metallica? What? Why? So it gets a little even weirder and crazier. So these guys are protesting. There's one guy on a microphone is just yelling, "You're all going to hell! You're all going to hell!" We're literally just laughing, like making fun of these people. They're just like funny. They're like clowns. What's their intent? What's their purpose? I don't get it. I'm just thinking, why aren't they outside of other bands? Protesting other bands that are like freaking much crazier than Metallica. Metallica is fucking weak sauce in metal. Are you kidding me? It's just people wanting to get attention. So anyway, this guy in the microphone, he says, "I will give $20 to any person that comes over here and listens to me for 5 minutes." The people rush over. People get out of the line, rush over, and stand in line. He goes, "No, wait a minute. I only have $20, so only one of you." Okay, and the guy that was first, he raised his hand. Here I am. He goes, "Okay, fine." Hey guys, "Okay, where's my $20? "Well, you have to listen to me talk for 5 minutes first." "All right, well, show me that you have the money first." "All right, here's the money." And then he shows him the money, and then he puts it back in his pocket, and then he just starts talking to him, talking. And the guy, literally, whatever this protester is saying to him, this guy doesn't give a F. He's literally smiling and laughing. He just nodding his head like crazy, like, "Hurry the F up, come on." So he does talk to him for a good 5 minutes, and then after the 5 minutes is up, he gives him $20. The guy turns around, raises both of his hands. "Yeah, I got $20 for listening to a crazy ass person." And then everybody in line starts laughing and clapping. Even the protesters start like laughing because nobody's taking this seriously at all. And about 5 minutes before, it's just unbelievable. 5 minutes before they open the doors, the protesters leave, and it's just people scratching their heads. What was their purpose? I don't know. Crazy. It's crazy people, dude. I don't even know. They probably think that the people in line are crazy, right? So anyway, this is even crazier. So the doors open, and whenever you go to the way they had this set up was so stupid. By the way, I had general admission tickets. Basically, this was when Metallica was doing a tour. They basically set up the stage in the very middle of the arena, and it rotated. If you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about. It just basically rotated and really slowly, clockwise rotation, and it's just rotated, so everybody got a chance to see them, right? So the way it worked is, if you're in general admission, you have to go to a line. Basically, you get in line so you can get a wrist ticket, and it's like green in color, right? So as soon as the doors open, it's really honestly chaos, because as soon as the doors open, people run because general admission is basically first come first serve. If you get there first, you're gonna be in the very very first basically row, but it's standing room only. You're not gonna be seated. So people freaking run. I run, and there's somebody that's saying, wait, you guys can't go in, you have to get your wristband if you're general admission. Oh, and then people start running. These are police officers, by the way. So people start running, and people that work in the arena. People start running to the places where you get your wristbands. And one of the police officers yells to everybody, hey, no running! Some guy turns around, flips off the police officer, and yells, fuck you, this is Metallica! And then everybody goes, yeah! And people just start laughing. After that, the police officer didn't say anything. People just started running like crazy. To this day, it's so funny to me. People are running. The police officer stops and says, hey, no running. Fuck you, this is Metallica. People finally get my wrist. I run. Okay, run, and then go down some damn stairs to general admission. Finally, I actually get in front. I'm in front, okay? In front. Nobody's taking my spot. I'm in front, the front. And so people line up like crazy. People are already nuts. People are just screaming weird ass things. People are screaming Metallica. People just go bonkers for Metallica, dude. Even the people that were seated were in the seated areas. They were standing up. They were yelling stuff. And then it's maybe 5 minutes to showtime, and people start just unison, we want Metallica, we want Metallica. And that basically goes on for about 2 minutes, and then people get bored, and then you just hear, yeah! You hear one section go, yeah! And then another section, like in the back, go, yeah! I'm like, what the hell's, why is people screaming, yeah? I turn around, and it's women flashing. For whatever reason, they just start flashing. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Vroom, flashing, yeah! And then a bunch of guys, yeah! And even women, yeah! And then that basically dies down. And then finally the show starts. And already it's nuts. Before the show even starts, it's already nuts. So the band starts playing, people go freaking crazy. This was the time when they didn't play a lot of their new stuff. It was a lot of old stuff, so it was crazy. So then the security guards come. You guys know, if you've been to concerts, there's always security guards up front in case people do something weird or stupid or get hurt or stage dive or crowd surf or mosh, whatever, right? So there's security there, and you could tell that they weren't the type of people that listened to Metallica, because they were looking at everybody headbanging and going nuts like, what the F is, these people are nuts, what the F? You just see it in their faces. And one of the craziest things I have seen to this day, by the way, the very front, when you're in the very front of this arena, it was metal barricades, okay? You've probably seen them, right? Metal barricades. There's this guy, maybe like 5 people to my left. He's headbanging so hard, he literally bangs his head against the metal, right? So the stage is rotating just a little bit, and Kirk comes over here, right, with the guitar. The guy is headbanging like crazy. He splits his head open from the front, just by like the hairline, right? I've never seen it to this day, only this one time. He hits his head on the barricade, starts bleeding, blood coming down his face. The security guards look over at him. The guy stops for a very, very brief second, realizes that there's blood on his face, and starts headbanging like crazy even more. Yeah, yeah. And then what does he do? He grabs his hand and wipes the blood all over his face. And the security guards don't even ask him if he needs help, if he's all right. They're literally just like in shock looking at him. The guy is headbanging, bleeding, blood all over, smeared all over his face, and he goes, "Yeah!" Kirk is playing the guitar, right? He looks over, like, you can see the the moment of shock in his face. Shock. But the guy doesn't care any less. That guy is in heaven, right? In heaven. He's getting to see Metallica. And then Kirk smiles, nods his head, points at him, and he goes, "Yeah." Kind of like, "Yeah, that guy is hardcore." The guy's like, "Yeah." Head banging like crazy, bleeding all over, blood all over his face. Even the people around him are like, "What the? Does this guy like need medical attention?" Or, "Hey, he looks fine." So, so what ends up happening is this guy basically takes his shirt off and ties it around his head. So now he looks even weirder. But anyway, a lot of people actually do take off their shirts, even women. I'm not lying. They start flashing the bands, even the women that are like in the general area. When Kirk went around, yeah, women were flashing, and guys were taking their shirts off and throwing them on stage. I'm like, why did they do that? Are they expecting the band to sign them while they're playing? I don't understand. Or after? I don't understand. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, the show was awesome. Everybody was crazy. Then, you know, they took out their cell phones and lighters or whatever for different songs. In terms of, you know, the actual band playing, yeah, it was great. But that's not the meat of the story. The meat of the story was with the people and what happened before the show and actually during the show. But then after they were finished, all the people without a shirt on were like, "Oh, excuse me, security guard, can you get my shirt?" "Oh no, mine's the black one with the skulls. Mine's the black one with the red." And the security guards were like, instead of, you know, actually securing the people, they just basically were like gophers. "Can you get me this? Get me this. Get me this." And honestly, they basically just put all the shirts in a pile and just threw it. At everybody. One of their shirts hit me in the face, okay? It was a Ride the Lightning shirt, right? Hit me in the face. I looked at it. Sweaty and disgusting. I just freaking threw that thing back. I was going to keep it too, right? But it was so disgusting, I just threw it. I was like, "Duh." But you know how concerts are. You get disgusting, sweaty and disgusting. People elbow to elbow, you know? And I just remember this show in particular for the weird-ass protesters. The guy hitting his head, bleeding all over the place. People screaming, "Fuck you, this is Metallica," to the police and running. I thought the police were actually going to actually do something and try to, you know, stop the people. They couldn't do shit. When you have hundreds of people just running, they just said, fuck, forget it. Forget it. And then, of course, people getting crazy, flashing, and yelling a bunch of crazy stuff from Metallica. This very memorable show. But anyway, thank you for listening to this story. If you guys like it, let me know in the comments. Let me know by hitting that like button. And if you want to hear some more stories of different things, not just music, different things, let me know, and I will make more videos. Until then, I'll see all of you in the next video.